Now, in Nigeria, Senator Ned Nwoko is pushing for the creation of a new state called Anyoma. The proposed state will be carved out of the current Delta state. The senator argues that this move is necessary to correct a historical imbalance. He points out that the southeast geopolitical zone currently has only 5 states, while the other zones have at least 6. Placing Anyoma in the southeast would help balance representation, the National Assembly, and federal resource allocation. Senator Nwoko emphasized that the people of the Delta North region are culturally and linguistically Igbo. He says the creation of Anyoma State would affirm this identity and recognize the area's significant economic contributions, including oil and gas reserves. A bill to amend the Constitution and create the new state is currently before the Senate. And of course, former Speaker of Delta State House of Assembly, Olisa Nebiu, joins us now for a conversation about the clamor for Anyoma State, environmental degradation, especially in areas that produce oil, and underdeveloped and Delta politics in general. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now, the call for Anyoma State has been, gaining ground recently, and the balancing of regional equation towards the southeast. How justifiable is this call?
Oh, the call is very justifiable. From 1950s, decade of 1950 to date, the people of Anyoma State have been crying for creation of a state of their own, at least for the right of self-determination. And each time the cry has been overlooked. Well, maybe I would say because of the lack of leadership, coordination, organization that had mooted the move until lately when Senator Ned Nwoko, whom I call mafioso, dogged fighter, took up the lead. Most of us that have different views about the creation of this Anyoma State where it belongs have become disciples and a believer for the right to create an Anyoma State for us.
Very good. Now, how is Delta State as a regional entity open to the idea that Anyoma State will be carved out of its own immediate domain and given to the southeast? What is the state government and, of course, the people, other tribes in Delta, are they open to that idea? What's the response been so far?
Well, I will begin the conversation this way. The creation of Anyoma State is something, it's not beholden to any particular individual leader. It's something that is good for the sake of development, spread. I have refused to succumb to the egotic stigma and blackmail and archaic loyalty that many of our good men have succumbed to become victims of the agitation to create a state. Creating an Anyoma State in Delta State is what everybody wants, except the enemies of progress. Initially, in fact, I had wanted, my first preference initially was to create an Ndokwa State. Second preference was to create an Anyoma State from the 9 local governments that make up Delta North in Delta State. But I saw that to be a toilsome vanity. To create a state today in Nigeria must fit into what we call environment, socio-cultural, political environment of competitive demands and interests. If you decide to say you don't want an Anyoma State to be created, either in the southeast region, can you show me objectively, comparatively, the evidence you have to win what you want in a competitive democratic environment? So What matters does not matter what Delta State thinks alone, or what an individual thinks alone. Is what you need to get a state created. And you square that to the issue of fairness, justice, and equity. If anybody in Delta State or a state says it doesn't want the creation of Anyoma State, and if that is the only state to be created, I will begin to wonder if the person truly believes in one Nigeria and giving the Southeast a sense of belonging as a nation. In the whole of the country today, all the regions have 6 states each. I think one of the regions, Northwest, has 7 states. Only the Southeast have 5 states. Now, if one state is going to be created, that state cannot be created, and the Nigerians, the other 34 states or 35 states, assuming a state says no, will accept to increase the number of states in a region already having a fair share of its size of states. But to create it in Southeast region, fairness, equity, and justice demands that Nigerians will support it, not a state. The imbalance, if a state is going to be created, I don't see how the presidency, the National Assembly members, particularly the senators, will decide not to create that one state in the Southeast to balance the balance the equilibrium of state creation.
All right.
So I don't look at the issue of what Delta State government or an individual will be thinking. I'm looking at what the generality of Nigerians will think in the area of fairness and equity.
All right, in the area of fairness and equity, but realistically, fine. Senator Walker has, is doing his bit, and of course, agitators in that realm as well. But what needs to change realistically for the emergence of Anyoma State, you think?
Nothing else will need to be changed realistically other than the politics of creation of states in a elite representative democracy. Nothing needs to be changed. If, from what we have seen, published all over the place, 85 senators signed on for the creation of Anyoma State to balance the disequilibrium in the whole Nigeria on the number of states created across the regions. If the presidency is aligned with these 85 senators on this matter, what we are going to be looking at is the objective success of creating these states. And the objective success in creating these states in an elite representative democracy shows that when you have 85 senators, you just have to say the Senate president who is presiding over that place, should be part of it. The presidency promised to support that equity, fairness. And the states of Nigeria, Nigerians of good faith, good men of honor and integrity have said it, that this imbalance in state creation does not augur well for Nigerian progress as a nation that gives all parts belonging to it a sense of belonging. So I'm not looking at it that way. I'm looking at it in a quantifiable, objective way to get success, to succeed in getting the state created.
Indeed. And what about the people? There's a movement already right now. What about the people of the region? How are they also open to the idea of having their own state in this regard?
Oh yes. The movement, in fact, like I said, the movement with some chiefs, traditional rulers, some, in fact, People in the media also have helped to push this case. And the fact that the senator representing the senatorial district, he has our mandate. Senator Ned Nwoko has our mandate to represent Delta North Senatorial District. His doggedness, his mafioso fight to get this done, I mean, gets it over the ball. And the only thing that matters now is they advise that there are some pockets of resistance, but that is not because they are not interested in creation of Anyoma State. The propaganda machine, the campaign, the strategy to spread this campaign to reach those particular groups has not been widened properly.
All right.
If you do listen to this man keenly, you understand that what he's saying has aligned with my logical explanation since we started asking what do we benefit by creating a normal state, taking it to Southeast. And if you listen to the man, he said initially, him himself had different view and different opinion but now he can see clearly. And this is why some people don't want to see clear. I said it time without number, because of self-hate. They hate who God has made them to become, but think they hate Igbo because we are an Igbo person. That is pure ED. If you like, hit your hell on the wall, you are an Igbo person. When I answer my Iseluku brother, I was telling him the same thing that this man is saying. It is not possible to create a state and leave it in South-South. In fact, going by this man's narration, it means that you don't even love Nigeria. Because most of you are saying one Nigeria, one Nigeria. You don't love Nigeria. If you love Nigeria, you must be a lover of fairness, equity, and justice. Igbo has been treated unfairly. Injustice have ravaged their region. And then, to show them that they belong, they need to be equal with other people. Mostly from the state creation first, politically. And when the former Ohanese president, Chief Emmanuel Iwanya, who made that statement, people like us saw it. I saw the video and I said, okay, this man said this. Where is the Igbo state going to come from? And we look at it critically and find out that we can create a Anyoma state because politically there are things that you need to put in place to know whether you are equal to be a state created by politics, by the political system, by the law and constitution of Nigeria. And we fit in. And then also started pushing for the narrative, started pushing for the agenda. And that is why we went to the National Assembly to submit our memorandum in the House of Rep. But as God may have it, Ned Nwoko proposed it in the Senate. So you can see that we're in the right path. But most of you can't see. You cannot see. There is an imbalance in the state of Nigeria, and Southeast is the one that's facing imbalance. To stop the marginalization politically, to stop the geopolitical marginalization, they need a state. Now we, the Anyomans, are taking advantage of it to say we want to have a state and we want to be zoned to Southeast. Many of you are now angry. You are now angry. Some of us from the Anyoma are saying we will never remain in South-South. I tell you, you are not a lover of Anyoma. Don't tell me you want Anyoma, but how can it be? How do you solve a problem by creating another problem? Because once you create a state and leave it in South-South, you're automatically going to make everybody start demanding for more states, causing more chaos instead of solving a problem. Then cheated the people you say you want to force them to become one Nigeria with another extra tool that they don't have. These are the mental problem most of you have. A very big mental gap that most of you don't have. And that's why I tell people, never do anything to please people. Mostly in the Igbo, don't do anything to please anybody. But make sure you do something to be under the law of Nigeria. Be a good citizen, but don't do it to please any Nigerian citizens, because they don't deserve you. If people should go with their 5 states, they should go with their 5 states. We don't want them. They want Biafra. Later, nobody's going anywhere. It's one Nigeria. They must stay there. IPOB, they are Biafra. It's online country. Now, Igbo people have dropped the Biafra and now asking for a state to belong to one Nigeria. You are the same person. See, telling them why? So suddenly you have dropped Biafra, now you are asking for state. What will the state solve? No, it will not solve a problem. It will cause more problem and heart attack to you. Nigeria has a very big problem. You know that this hate you see people preaching today against Igbo. The same Nigeria, the one that make the Igbo start showing up. In the time I was growing up, you hardly know an Igbo man that is rich. If Oliver the Coke or Sadebe no call their name for music, you hardly know an Igbo man that is rich. Because they will there with one Nokia phone, wear pants, wear short knicker, meanwhile has 7 shops in Ochanja. In Edumota, he has like 8 shops. In Alaba, he has more warehouse than any other person. But that same man will be working and be telling you, nah, so he will follow his boy and be offloading. Nigerians were yabbing in the Igbo. How you go get money, you know, sabi dress. How you go get money, you know, if you buy a good car. How you go get money, they manage. Initially, when I was growing up, Igbo men doesn't show their money. It is their women that you will know that they have money. Because when you see how they will take care of the women, in the August meeting, that is when you know they have money. Now the Igbo people now started showing the money. The same Nigeria saying, you two they loud, you two they shout. What would they do to people to stay one place? I said it time number. You more people must stay one place so that if turn that they locate to make you locate to now well. You must not be here. They do this one, you talk. They do this one, you talk. They do this one, you talk. Stay one place. The same you that will say Igbo people, they know sabi dress. They too they hide their money. They know they too they do this thing. They go. Now Igbo people have changed in the last 10-15 years and started showing their wealth. That is why December after December, now Igbo people go to show mansion. Before it doesn't happen. You only go to the man village and say, hey, this man why I send a one shop we gave. If he has a be for village. That's how we know that Igbo people have money. And that's why the mentality is still holding some people till today that they think Igbo people place are not developed. Because when you see them, they behave like if they don't have money. I think the Igbo herself, you don't even know who get money. They're behaving like Jesus and their disciple. You don't know who is Jesus, you don't know who is disciple. It take a kiss to know them. But now the Igbo rich men decided to be showing up. Now, when I see they talk, say they too they loud, they too they intimidate people, they too they won't show, they won't dominate you. The same mouth, now everything they come from you. Left and right, you must talk. See, I'm now. Because tomorrow now, when I go to say, even if we are dragging a gala. Now, when I got a gala brother, where the social media, they tell me, say, Igala has an ancestry with Igbo. I just want to post this thing here so that tomorrow, so that none of you will come online and be saying Igbo people are dragging a gala. Just as no Igbo man from Southeast is even talking about we having an Anyoma state. It is we the Anyoma people that are saying we need the Anyoma state. And you come and say Igbo people are looking for another. Igbo people want to do this, Igbo people want to do that. So you have accepted that we're Igbos. But you don't want to have an Anyoma state so that we can be completely Igbo and go to Southeast. That's why I say make una stay one place. So that if turn that they strike, make it strike on our way. Make it have on a location. If you know you're against the Igbo, stay against the Igbo. So that if they call you an enemy or Zwai and Awobi, we go they call you. But it can't be two-sided mouth. Only the Eba, only the Eba. All do you know the Annie? You know, just because you hate in the Igbo. So nothing they do makes sense to you. They take your advice, war. They don't take your advice, war. I'm out of here, Joe.
Big brother, Olumiki Ame Onuku Ojo Gosi, and Olumiki Ayomide Jason James, also known as Jason J. Good evening, my people. Good evening, housemates. Good evening, Africa. We're here representing the Igala people, situated in the eastern part of River Niger and Benue, also extending across the Niger in Lokoja, Kogi State, Nigeria, lies the homeland of the Igala people. The Igala and the Igbo have important historical, ancestral, and cultural relationship. Eri, who is said to have migrated from the southern Egypt through the Igala area, settled and established a community in the middle of the Anambra River Valley at Ariaka in Aguleri, where he married two wives. Aguleri. First wife named Nna Amaku bore him 5 children, while the second wife named Ogoli begot Onoja, the only son who founded the Igala kingdom in Kogi State. The ruling figure of the Igala ethnic group is known as the Ata. The word Ata means father, and full title of the
why not the culture they read this thing? Maybe proper Igala,
meaning father of Igala.